power of one step. How to move forward when life feels stuck. Today, I want to talk to you about something simple but powerful. One step forward is still progress. Let me tell you about a friend of mine. A few years ago, she was battling depression. Just getting out of bed felt impossible. But one day, she decided to take a 5-minute walk. The next day, she did it again and again. That one step turned into a habit, and that habit turned into healing. You may not feel like you're moving fast enough, or doing enough, or being enough. But I want you to know if you moved at all today, you're not behind. Too often we wait. Wait for motivation, wait for the right moment, wait for energy. But the truth is, momentum starts when you move, even just a little. So let's talk about the power of that one small step. Welcome, friends. Today I want to talk to you about something simple but powerful. One step forward is still progress. So let's talk about the power of that one small step. It's easy. We overthink, we procrastinate, we scroll, we compare, and before we know it, we convinced ourselves that if we can't take a big step, we shouldn't take one at all. But that's a lie. Progress doesn't start with a giant leap. It starts with the whisper, I'll try. Inaction feels heavy, but action, even small action, begins to lift the weight. Let me tell you about James. He was stuck in a cycle of job rejections and self-doubt. For months, he didn't send out a single application, but one morning, he committed to updating just his resume. That simple action reignited his confidence. A week later, he sent out 3 applications. A month later, he had a new job. That's the power of one step. Think about someone who's struggling with their health. The idea of the gym feels overwhelming. But what if they just took a 5-minute walk every day? One step becomes 10, 10 becomes 30, and over time, it becomes a lifestyle. You don't need the perfect plan, you need one step, then another, then another. Let's be honest. We live in a world obsessed with big wins, viral moments, overnight success, but real growth doesn't look like that. Real growth is reading 1 page a day. Real growth is praying when you don't feel like it. Real growth is choosing peace, one response at a time. You are not called to do everything. You're called to take the next right step. Use this mindset. 1 page is progress. 1 meal choice is progress. 1 prayer is progress. Don't despise small beginnings. God or Allah doesn't. He often starts with little things that carry big purpose. Stories of one step that changed everything. Let me share some real stories. There was a man who started walking 5 minutes a day. He had no plan to lose 100 pounds. But 2 years later, he had because he kept going. There was a woman who felt God was calling her to write. She didn't have the time, the audience, or the clarity, but she wrote 1 paragraph a day. Today, she's a published author. And then there's the Bible. David took 1 step into the battlefield to face Goliath. That 1 step led to a victory that changed a nation. Moses took 1 step toward the sea before it parted. Peter took 1 step out of the boat to walk on water. Alone in the desert with her son Ishmael, Hajar ran back and forth between the 2 hills 7 times, searching for water. Her relentless steps led to the miracle of the Zamzam well, which still flows today. 1 faithful action repeated led to life-giving provision. 1 step That's all God needed to do something miraculous. As Lao Tzu once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So don't wait for the finish line to celebrate. Celebrate the first step. How to take the next step. Let's get practical. Here's how to take that next step, even when you feel stuck. First, break it down. Don't aim to pray or exercise for an hour. Start with 5 minutes. 2 things, habit stack. Attach a new habit to an existing one. Pray while brushing your teeth. Speak affirmations while getting dressed. Third, use the 1% rule. If you can't do 100%, do 1%. Progress is progress. Fourth, visual reminders. Put your goals or scriptures where you'll see them. Vision fuels motion. You don't need to leap, you just need to lean forward. Final encouragement and challenge. So here's my final word to you. If all you did today was breathe, try, or move an inch, you're doing better than you think. This is your sign to keep going, to get up, to write the thing, to speak the truth, to walk with faith. One step might not look like much to the world, but in God's hands, it's everything. So here's your challenge. Before the day ends, take 1 step, write 1 sentence, pray 1 prayer, forgive 1 hurt, show up 1 more time, and tomorrow, do it again. You don't have to finish the race today, but promise me this, take 1 step, then take another, because 1 step forward is still progress. Let's close with this prayer. God, when I feel tired, remind me that 1 step is still sacred. When I feel stuck, help me trust that you move with me. Give me the courage to start, the grace to continue, and the strength to take the next step. Amen. So here's my final word to you.